Lions at Kansas City. What are you thinking, man? Okay, so it looks like Chris Jones may not be available because he's still doing the holdout.
That's a big loss if they're losing out on Chris Jones. All right, there you go. They're losing
$10 super right there, man. Hashtag FGB. Would you trade Houston for Evans if Tampa eats some of Evans' salary as part of a trade? Well, we'll get back to what we were talking about. We'll go straight to this. I like Houston. I think there's a good upside with him. Getting those sacks is very important. Like, I know he's a one-trick pony, but it's a one trick you like to have.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say no. What do you got?
Man, it's extremely tempting because you are getting an absolute baller in return. You are. But you're getting a guy that's 30 years old, pushing 31, injuries. I love Mike Evans, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if I want to trade a young pass rusher at this moment who can possibly be at least part of your future. I'm not saying that James Houston's going to be the next Von Miller or anything, but I think, like Mike said, man, sacks are really big on defense, especially for a team that doesn't have a lot of guys that can get to the quarterback. You know, at this moment, we got some guys that it looks like it's going to happen, but I'm going to say no right now. It's a tough no for me, though. It's very tough because I love Mike Evans, but just the age kind of makes me kind of hold back on it.
Houston just brings, like, it just comes out of nowhere and just he finds a way to the quarterback. That's invaluable to have. It's hard to find players like that. And then so young.
Yeah, and then the guy in the comment, he says, well, touchdowns are important too. I agree. 100%. I do agree with that. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that too. But, you know, getting touchdowns, I don't think was a situation. Like, it wasn't a problem last year.
Yeah, he had 6.
Yeah. But I think as the Lions whole, I think we were scoring at will last year.
Yeah, because we're doing the run game a little bit. Look, it's
tough.
It's an interesting question. I think if you asked 10 people, 5 would probably be on the Houston and 5 would be on the Mike Evans. It's not, I don't think it's an easy one for sure. I get it.
Yeah.
So if you disagree with our take, I totally get it. No argument there for sure, because Mike Evans is a really good wide receiver. 1,100 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns, 30 years old, 6'5". I mean, that's something that you would need, but I absolutely love James Houston's ability to sack a quarterback. And if he can do, he didn't even play half a season, he can do almost 9 sacks right there. I want to see what he can do all season long.
Yeah. Put it this way, I wouldn't be furious if it happened, but I just don't think they should do that at this point. I don't know. It's just but it's a tough call, man. It's a tough call. I think age has a lot to do with it on my end, anyways.
Well, let me talk to him. See him in the comment section, man. That LA Knight, he's a high riser. That's who I would pick up with at Kicker. I'd pick up LA Knight. Yeah. You know it's going to be it's going to be a good kick for sure. Do you think Julian Okwara gets traded?
No, I'm not sure what you're going to get for a guy like that. Like, I'd be shocked if they got a 6th-round pick for him. What has he done? What has Julian done? He's the poster boy for inconsistency.
Yeah.
You know, he shows up for 1 game and then disappears for 3, and shows up again. Then he's undressed. He's not playing. So I don't know, man. I like Julian. I always thought that he was going to be a big part of this defense, but he's very inconsistent, too hurt, always nicked up. I don't know, man. If they could trade something for him and get something for him, sure. But I'm not just going to give him away to a team. Try to get a 5th. If they can get a 5th-round pick for him, then I'd probably do it.
I don't see. There's no way. Isaiah Simmons went for a 7th-round pick.
That's what I mean.
There's no way that, I don't even know if Julian, maybe a conditional 7. I think that's what you're looking at right now. Does he get traded? He probably does, but I don't know if you're going to get, it's not going to be no big trade or anything like that. Don't think you're going to get anything significant. I mean, we've seen teams trade all these players, a lot of players so far in the last 24 hours. It wasn't big trades, but it's a trade, kicker here, offensive lineman there. So that could be a situation. Would you trade Houston for Chris Jones? That's not even a question. That would absolutely do that, and the Kansas City Chiefs would be absolutely dumb if they did that.
Yeah.
It'd be the worst decision they've ever made if they did something like that. You're talking about an all-pro.
Goodell would nix that in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, nope, not happening.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, for sure. That would be, if they somehow did that, that'd be the greatest trade ever made of all time. Yeah. That would be like
he's one of the best defensive tackles in the game today. So, he's right behind Aaron Donald. So, absolutely.
Yeah. Keep holding out, man. We want you to keep holding out.
No, bro.
Past week 1, we're good to go. Would you trade Evan McPherson to the Lions?
That's the Bengals kicker?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He's got a fantastic leg. What's the price, though? I'm not giving up crazy capital for a kicker, but he is a good
round pick.
He is a good one. Yeah, he is a good one. Absolutely. I think he was like one of the tops last year in the NFL. So, yeah, absolutely, man. He's consistent. So why not?
Yeah, it's funny because like when we talk about the draft, we always get told like you never draft a kicker. But then we're always in this situation.
Yeah. Well, look at the Moody situation. Look at the Moody situation. He's been terrible for San Francisco. Yeah. And he's hurt.
So
he's hurt. So, and they drafted him in the 3rd round, the 49ers. So, but like Mike
I'd never draft a kicker that early.
Unless
it's Jason Hansen.
Always, it seems like we're always in this situation where we can't find a kicker. It's odd. It's very odd.
Been like that for like I said, I think it's the curse of Nate Freeze. Ever since we drafted that guy, he has cursed us. And we can't find stability at that position. We get him at Prater, but then we trade him away.
I forgot about that pick, bro. Wow.
Nate Freeze, he was terrible. I would never draft a kicker in the first 4 rounds.
No.
Like I wouldn't even. Jason Hansen, he was a 2nd round pick. I don't know if people remember.
Yep.
If we knew who Jason Hansen would have become, I would do it. But I mean, that's.
I'll tell you right now, I remember when that happened, the organization got blasted for it. They got absolutely destroyed for it. But look what he did. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
If
that's the one guy, it's like, okay. Yeah.
Right.
Justin Tucker, I guess you could say that, win some games and lose some games for sure. For sure. Do you think they trade for a backup offensive lineman? Maybe a tackle?
Maybe, because I think we need one bad, man. If Matt Nelson sees any type of snaps, I think we're in big time trouble.
Oh, we're screwed.
We're in huge trouble. So I could see that happening, but if you're trading for a backup offensive tackle, you're not giving up a lot. You're not giving up a ton. So I think Brad Holmes is scouring. Obviously, I think all 32 teams are, but Brad Holmes has to be looking for O-linemen. We have to address that. So, yes, I would trade for a backup offensive tackle. I'm just not giving up a ton for it.
Yeah, because they cut Jermaine Ifedi, who people thought potentially could be the backup. And I don't think there's any way humanly possible they believe Matt Nelson's the guy.
I can't, man. I was told Bobby Hart was supposed to be the guy, and I laughed. Like Bobby Hart was supposed to, and he's gone. So Bobby Hart's terrible. If Matt Nelson is beating out a guy like Bobby Hart, we're in trouble, man. We're in big time trouble there. Let's pray Decker or Sewell don't go down if they don't.
I'm like Dan Skipper, man. Bring him back. He better than Matt Nelson. Like
Cool. He's in Indianapolis now.
I'll bring him back. Bring him to Detroit, man. Bring him back. He's better. Yeah, the Colts are looking like they're about to trade their number 1 running back here soon. So I think he'll end up going to Miami.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I got a feeling. Miami are never scared, but I can't wait to see what that is. What they get for him. Do you think the Lions trade for a running back, a number 4, or do you just like, nah, they ain't doing anything like that, or picking up a player? When I say trade too, folks, I also mean, just acquiring a player, whether it be a waiver pickup. Do you think they pick up a waiver player running back or trade for a running back?
I think they could possibly pick somebody up if they threw the waiver wire, another running back. Absolutely. I think we're pretty set though, 1 through 3. Obviously, Montgomery, Gibbs, and Reynolds. Justin Jackson retiring, I think, kind of hurt them a little bit, kind of shocked them.
Yeah, it did.
Because I think he was RB3 guaranteed. Dan Campbell pretty much said it before he even retired.
I really don't believe Silver Surfer they trade James Houston. I don't. And that it's the bottom of my heart, unless they somehow got like David there, Chase Young or something. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I think if it happens, I'll be shocked. Now, I haven't heard anything. Like, I don't have no insight or anything like that. I'm not, Woodward Sports or anything. But it's a hard for me to believe you would do that.
I know where it's coming from, though. Like, I know where it's coming because he's playing so deep into the preseason. And I think
the problem is because they were Julian got hurt in the game.
True.
That's why he was playing late into the game, and they want to give him reps because he is raw at a lot of part of his games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I'd be shocked, man. I think this is completely media-driven, fan-base driven. People run with it. James Houston, he was a big part of the defense last year, big part of the turnaround. Like, he was literally a huge part of the turnaround. It took guys like Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker to ask Aaron Glenn, what the hell does James Houston need to do for you to activate this kid? You have to activate him because he is killing us out here. They finally did. Did. And he's one of the reasons for the turnaround of this defense, of 8 wins out of 10. So getting rid of Houston, I think, would be monumental mistake. And I don't think Brad Holmes is doing it. I just don't think he's doing it.
I don't think he's doing it. It just does not make any sense to me. It's not like he's some veteran, old, long in the tooth guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's young and he's good at his niche. Like, he's really good. Like, he gets to the quarterback. He's fast. He's just really fast, like flies. So I don't see that happening. And like Houston, we have a problem. And guess what? You can never have enough pass rushers. You can never have enough. And he's got to work on his game, but he's young. It's going to take a little bit of time. But when a guy gets that many sacks, just can't let it go.